Hey guys, it's Kirby from Blue Lust, and welcome back to another video. So, you know how games are getting way more expensive way too quickly. Um, Today I want to talk about gaming on a budget. So, there's bunches of ways to get, cheap, free games. You know, all you really have to do is load up Steam on your computer and just you hit the free tab. They have hundreds of games, and a lot of good ones in the free to play tab. Too many live service ones, in my opinion, which, free with an asterisk there. And I mean, pretty much anywhere you go on a computer, you're gonna have free games. There's itch.io, there's Scratch. Hell, Epic gives away like a free game. I think it's either once a week, once a month, whatever, whatever. And those are like full AAA titles. They just give away. That's how I got Civilization 6 and the Castlevania collection. The only downside is you have to have Epic installed on your computer. Which, yeah, I know that's a tall ask. Um, but yeah, of course, there's a lot of free to play stuff in Steam. Some good examples are I know Marvel Rivals is super popular. I want to say I think Overwatch is on Steam. There's also stuff like I was really big into Cyber Hunter for a hot minute there, which is it's like a Steam slash phone game, and that was just fun to pick on the little kids on mom's phone or whatever, with mouse keyboard precision. It was pretty fun, pretty fun. There's stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which are both free to play, and really good simulators for Yu-Gi-Oh! Granted, the only downside is you're gonna have to do some grinding to get whatever deck you want, but I mean, that was prevalent in the older games, so it's whatever, whatever, whatever. I know there's Magic the Gathering Simulator or two on there, if you're into that. You're gonna find, there's, I think there's free-to-play platformers, just pretty much anything of any genre. Maximum Football is a free-to-play football game if you're into sports like I am. Which, hell yeah. And there's also, like, a ton of Steam sales. Like, any day you go on Steam, you can hit the specials tab, and you're gonna find, like, AAA games priced down 20, 50, 70, 80%. Sometimes even 90 if you're lucky. I know I got a Madden NFL 25 for like $15, which, granted the new one just came out, but that's cheap. And that's pretty good price for, honestly, the first well-optimized PC Madden. Um, which, yeah, I like it. I wish they'd put college football on there already. Yeah, I think it's great. And it feels like Madden 25 doesn't have as heavy of an emphasis on Ultimate Team. Like, it's not as blasted in your face as most other Maddens. But I digress. But no, there's a bunch of like free games on like itch.io, which of course, practice caution. Maybe scan certain games or like look at reviews. Don't get caught slacking. Um, there's also phone games. Like I said, you get Duel Links, you get Master Duel. Those games are also available on the phone. I think there's a Magic the Gathering Simulator. There's a Pokemon TCGP, which is super fun. I just pulled a shiny Machamp full body artwork, which was pretty freaking sweet. Well, I like it. I like it. And on PC though, you can find like compilations and stuff. Um, there's like the Castlevania collection, the Mega Man collections, which you're gonna get a bunch of games for relatively cheap prices. Compilations are always worth looking into. I know Sega releases a bunch. Atari as well. which is always awesome. I know there's going to be a new Bubsy collection coming out, which is going to be the first 4 games, and I'm super hyped up for it. It's going to have Bubsy and Claws Encounter of the Fur Kind, Bubsy 2, Bubsy and Fractured Furry Tales, and Bubsy 3D and Forbidden Planet, which, is the game we're using for our B-roll today. And, oh boy, it's difficult, but it's not bad. I enjoy it. There's also stuff like, like I said, the Castlevania collection is really good. It features a whole bunch of the old Super Nintendo, NES, Sega Genesis, and I want to say Game Boy Castlevania games, which, hell yeah, it's basically just, an emulator bundle. It comes with, a bunch of ROMs. I think you can go into PC version. You can actually pull the ROMs if you want to just run them under your own emulation system or whatever. But, super dope, super awesome. All in for that. I like that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has its own classic collection. I mean, compilations are always a good way to get some games. Steam has the bundle deals. But yeah, on phones you can get full console games now. I say now, it's been that way for the better part of a decade. With GTA San Andreas being on phones. I think Resident Evil made delete the phones. Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, the Chris Whitehead edition, which, was such a good phone port of that game that they actually, signed that dude up to make Sonic Mania, which is kind of awesome. So yeah, definitely, a lot of good options that way. Of course, you have stuff like Game Pass, which, Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, I think it is, which you can use to, basically, it's a subscription-based service. You get access to, X amount of games for, a month each payment, and, I don't recommend these as hard because, especially on console, because, a lot of these games you can just go to the game store and get them cheap. And I mean, I'm talking a couple bucks a piece. There's a reason they're part of, a subscription service, and they're not just, just selling the game without, there's a reason behind it. Which, I always support physical media. I think that, digital consoles are going to, are just bad are just bad. I think they're just bad. I would rather have the day one release on a cartridge, on a disc, whatever. And, I think digital only is pretty stupid on a way to go for a console. As for other things, I mean, Game Pass is even on PC. It has a slightly different collection of games depending on what you're using, PC or console. I know I think the first 2 Fallouts are still on Game Pass, which, I think all the Fallouts are on Game Pass, really. Which, sure, if you like Bethesda games, if you like EA games, and don't get EA Play, just get Game Pass, because it comes with EA Play, which is a way smarter way to save some money. Definitely check out Facebook Marketplace if you're wanting to get a console or something. A lot of people are just selling their console, their kid's old console, whatever, for pretty cheap. It's always worth checking out. Sometimes they'll sell a bundle of games for 5 or 6 games a stack for $20 or something. You just never know what you're going to find on there. Same with your local game stores. I always recommend buying, locally, over stuff like GameStop, which is only going to have the current consoles, which, mid. But that's just my opinion. I'm more of a retro fan, as you can obviously tell from the, wonderfully made, Bubsy avatar that, Ghoul Kitty in the Discord server made. She does commissions. And this is one I asked for. It was it's just it's my character based on the artwork from, the Japanese artwork for, Bubsy and Claws Encounter of the Third Kind. known as Bubsy the mountain cat there. Uh, Wonderful artwork. I love it. But I digress. Also, there's stuff like, you know, emulation. And emulation is not illegal like a lot of people want to think. Emulation can be done perfectly legally. You're supposed to back up your own game files and whatnot. For, the content you own, which, for stuff like PlayStation, it's pretty easy. All you have to do really is just get if you have a disk drive, and they sell external ones for relatively cheap, you can, take a bunch of those old PlayStation games, and you're able to, just run them on your computer. I mean, same with the GameCube and Wii. There's, I want to say, there's things that let you, save the, memory of, save the ROMs of, your, cartridge-based games. There's also converters for that, which does, we're starting to get into the pricey territory. But no one's really gonna care if you Google up free Mario game. You're just gonna find it. And, as long as you're not blend distributing, they normally, you ain't gonna have anything bad happen to you. Almost guaranteed. Almost. But, I think that, emulation's overlooked a lot of the times when people talk about budget gaming, because you're able to take, an old GameCube game, I'm just gonna use Madden 06 as an example, because it's one that I've been playing. You're able to, upscale the graphics to, 4K, and then they have, these, I don't know what the word is, but it messes with the textures so they're not pixely. It kind of, smooths them out. It makes it look really pretty. Playing Madden 06 has been on Dolphin has been one of the best Madden experiences I've had in forever. Honestly, way better than Madden 25. And at the end of the day, it only costs you what the original game costs you. So, I mean, take that as you will on your means. And that's always, fun option. The 3DS, actually. 3DS is a great budget device. What it has is there's a huge homebrew scene. So what you do is you basically, install custom firmware into it. And then there's, programs like, the H-Shop, which are based on preservation of 3DS titles for educational purposes. So, you're able to educate yourself on 3DS titles and the virtual console stuff, and, it doesn't cost really more than the console itself, which is always a plus in my book. Not to mention it's easy to inject your own, ROM files into a 3DS to play. And you're able to use a forwarder or this program called Twilight Menu to play your Nintendo DS games that you have backed up, which is always fun, always awesome. I've been playing Pokemon Soul Silver on my 3DS a lot lately, and I just finished my first actual shiny hunt, which super awesome. It's a I was soft resetting through the starters of Johto, and I managed to get a shiny Totodile, which, I'm so proud of. It took me 28 days, 4 weeks. I ended up naming him February. Fitting name, right? But, but yeah, no, there's so many budget options. There's free-to-play shooters, there's free-to-play platformers, there's free-to-play anything. And, as long as you're not, pirating stuff that's actively being sold by publishers, and I'm not even gonna say pirating, there's abandonware. It's called abandonware for a reason. It's been abandoned. If you go to myabandonware.com, there is a huge list of just abandoned old PC titles. I think they also have some ROM files. And it's just stuff that's no longer sold by the developers. And it's a great archival. It lets you play some classics. I know it has some of the backyard sports games still question mark. I know the original Backyard Baseball is now being sold as a game on Steam, which definitely check that out. Super fun. Childhood memories right there. Um, but yeah, and there's way more options than just playing the place, the PS5 or the Xbox One. And even if you're playing on those and you don't have money, there's Game Pass, which I mean, sure. Also, I recommend looking for cheap physical copies of these games. Because, Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, I know they remove they rotate their libraries, so definitely look into finding like I think Skyrim's like $3 or $4 on no matter what console you're looking at. Which, Minecraft's always super cheap. Um, and, there's a bunch of budget games. And, I would say a lot of these budget games rival, if not beat out, a lot of new releases that are full paid, whatever. I mean, hell, did stuff, even the homebrew on 3DS, like Mario Kart CTGP 7, I'd say is probably going to be better than the new Mario Kart that Nintendo's releasing for the Switch 2. I mean, you have custom characters, you can download mods from Game Banana. I have a whole bunch of Princess Daisy skins for that game, including a one based off of her Mario Tennis appearance, which, freaking love Princess Daisy. She's like the coolest Nintendo princess. But anyways, if you guys want to drop me a quick little subscribe there. If you guys liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't like this video, thumbs down it. Go ahead and do it if you want to. The engagement helps me. But if there's anything I missed, guys, definitely write it down in the comments. I want to hear from you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.